Hey guys, hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Been a little lazy today, feel a little lazy. Like I think probably everybody out there, if you stayed up too late, if you had a good weekend, you can see what I'm doing here. I am slowly cleaning my carrots off. Got most of them done right there. But I did want to stop in. What to say? Of course, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I know we all had good food. We had zucchini noodles. Made a spaghetti zucchini noodle. Really good. Very filling. Oh, I ate too many of them. Not really, but it's highly nutritious. It was good stuff. You really can't tell that you're not eating. I mean, yeah, you can tell that you're not eating spaghetti, but a person can eat spaghetti, and have it gluten free. That's a good choice. Sometimes, if you're doing your 15% that day. But yeah, we did the spaghetti sauce that was processed. It was good. It was very nice. When I had a couple thoughts. There are lots of reasons why people, somebody out there, has decided that they're thinking about going plant-based. And it's one of, not the only, obviously, but it's one of the best decisions any of us can make for our health. A lot of people out there, I might very well be talking to you personally, a lot of people have type 2 diabetes. They have the onset of type 2 diabetes. And you've been victimized with that, not really by your own doing. It's because of the food that our society has made you think is normal food. You're surrounded all around this planet. If society was eating all vegetables and fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, the old story, then you wouldn't have it. So yeah, in a sense, you're a victim. It's not fair. So processed food is an addiction, as you probably have figured out, and you probably already know that. There's pleasure zones in your brain that are hit upon that you enjoy, and you still think the word balance is in there. And when I'm talking about balance, I'm talking about meat and dairy. Hey Google, settle on for 10 minutes. I don't want to go over 10 minutes with you today. Set. It's simply because I don't want to wear you out, and I want to make sure that I get the information there. If you're a type 2 diabetic, it's who I'm talking to. You might not know this, but now you do. If you're a type 2 diabetic, you don't have to be. And none of this is medical advice. I got to do that as a disclaimer. I have to. 99.9% of the time, though. Type 2 diabetes is a choice. And type 2 diabetes is going to affect a lot of things. You can go blind, lose a foot. There are other things that can definitely happen. And you don't want those things to happen, obviously. The medicine that you're on, you have to constantly regulate it. You got to go back to the doctor. They got to do blood work, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And something might trigger you to might want to be able to try to come off of that. And usually you can do that within 90 days pretty easy by juicing. So definitely encourage you to do that and look into it. And also buy water. One big thing that people think, everybody makes excuses for everything. Oh my gosh. And balance is one of my pet peeves, because you can't have balance with meat and dairy. You just can't. When I say balance, I'm saying you can't eat that stuff on a regular basis. Not every week, not every other day. I know some plant-based people, totally cool. They stick with the grind, and then once every so often they go eat crab legs or shrimp. I mean, obviously those aren't the best health choice, but they're not going to live a whole life of just plant-based. What I mean, what I'm saying is if they go on vacation, they might decide to indulge, and I mean, that's totally cool because there's no 100%. There is 99%. There is going a whole month without meat or dairy. Because when we do eat meat and dairy, we got it's just not type 2 diabetes. You got heart disease. Heart disease, you got heart disease well, for men, you pretty much know you have heart disease. Your first sign is that your manhood stops working. So, there's an issue going on, and you can reverse it. Juice, go on a plant-based diet. You're totally cool. If you have high blood pressure, you have to understand that you can reverse that. You can get your numbers back to perfect. And the doctor isn't going to tell you that, but if you take a look at your doctor's probably, the odds are is that your doctor's not in very good shape. And he's not healthy, or she isn't. They could be, but, another one of my pet peeves is going into a doctor. And I haven't been to doctors in years, but they're completely out of shape. Why would you take advice from them? That doesn't make any sense. You'd want to try to find somebody you can emulate. And, yeah. So anyway, when you're thinking about coming to plant-based, and I know that was probably a little too real for you, but, it's good for you to get to know me and my personality a little bit, especially when I'm tired. We got up a little early today. We did go to the park. We got back. I think my hands are turning orange. Yeah, we got back. It was a really good walk. Brownie and Marley, of course, enjoyed it as always. And I got home. I'm tired. I'd probably rather just go to bed or something, or take it easy. But what am I doing? I'm juicing. And one of the excuses people make, they make so many of them. My life's too busy. My life's too stressful. I have to get up too early in the morning. Blah blah blah. All they are excuses. It's too expensive. I work 12 hours a day. All of these don't work. It just means you just don't want to give up your addiction, which is totally cool. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. That means, you may not ever get to a point in your life where you're ready to do it. And then when you do decide to do it, it takes a lot of humility, and it takes a lot of understanding. But all those excuses that you made up in the past, they were excuses. When you look at cost, I don't care if you have a family or not. Come on now. If you go out to lunch and you're paying $5 to $10, even if you're being cheap now, oh my gosh. The first place I think of is like Taco Bell. What are you going to do? Spend $3 to $5 there? Maybe $8, $10? Well, check this out. You can buy 5 pounds of carrots, big old thing of celery, and 3 apples. And that's costing you between $6 and $7. And what are you going to do with that? You can juice it, and you can fill up 2 of these. And the amount that's in there for both of them is 7 pints of nutrients, and in your vitamins, your minerals. And drinking that is like eating 5 pounds of carrots, because all of this stuff has no nutritional value. What I mean is that you want to get that off. After we juice it in the juicer, your body has to use energy to break down the carrot. So what we're saying is that you're going to respect your temple. You're not going to force your body to have to eat this. You're going to let this chop it up, and then you're going to take the juice, put it into your body, which goes in your bloodstream, and you're going to get a rush of energy throughout the day. You're gonna sip on this all day. $7 whole day. Also, one of the things that you and I always go over in the morning, if you're first time here, welcome to the channel. Really, really glad to have you here. Okay, and I hope you come back. If you're thinking about plant-based, plant-based, or if you are plant-based, please like the channel. Love your support. And hope you checked out our, when we made pizza this past weekend. Well, yeah, day before yesterday. It was a lot of fun making that video. They're there to bless everybody. The cheese, the mozzarella, Oh man, just phenomenal cheese. I'll show you a little picture of it. Always putting my name on it. And today's date, which is the 6th. That means, and this is number 1 gallon. Okay. All right. If you haven't been here before, distilled water every time. Okay. It's important to get distilled. Your body can't break down the minerals and the crappy BS minerals that they put in other water, which is poison. Don't drink the water out you're sick. It's full of fluoride. This has no fluoride. It has zero anything in it. Tastes a little flat. Get used to it. I've been drinking it for 10 years. And there was something else I was going to show you. Oh yeah. For those of you that are just discovering plant-based, if you're religious, because I don't want to offend anybody, I don't care if you're religious or not, because this is only about plant-based. But if you are religious, this book right here can be a real paradigm shift for the way you think. You're going to try to be smarter. Everybody tries to manipulate information. You try to come up with reasons not to do stuff. Whatever. You also take pills. Some people do, to make them feel good. They pop a pill and, oh, the world's great again. And we really need to face it head on. And when you do, I want to guarantee you something. If you start eating a healthy plant-based diet and just get out and walk once a day, I'm telling you, of course I'd encourage you to work out a little bit, but depression, you can say goodbye to it. Your depression's going to be gone, folks. It's going to be gone. You got pains on your body. You know what? I'm going to show you where my pain was. I had pain in my back, pain in my shoulder, pain in my shoulder, pain in my leg right here. I had pain in my knee. I was supposed to have surgery on my knee many years ago. I had pain down my inside of my leg, my sciatic. Whew. The inflammation and the arthritis that they call it, doctor won't tell you how to get rid of it. I'm going to tell you how to. Plant-based diet. You're like, what? The meat and the dairy are causing inflammation, and the gluten you got to get out of your diet too. Those 3 things. You got to get out the processed foods. These foods are poison. Only my opinion, blah, 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 not medical advice. But come on, guys. Who amongst you is looking at the ingredients on a can? You're being lazy and you're just picking it up. Who is looking at where the meat came from? It doesn't really matter where the meat came from. It's coming from a factory farm. I'm going to snooze it real quick, but it's coming from a factory farm, okay? Who amongst you are you looking to see how much cholesterol is in an egg yolk? Like a pound of beef worth? Organic egg whites, that's one thing. If you get an organic egg and you separate the yolk from the whites, that's one thing. But still not ideal. And that is the most ideal meat on the planet, would be an egg, and you separate the yolk from the egg white, and you have the egg white. That would be really the only thing that I can even imagine logically why you would, the only source of protein from animal that you'd want. And yeah, you could definitely do that. But anyway, this book right here, I want you to check it out. If you believe, if you're a Christian, then this could be the paradigm shift you're looking for. But let me show you the book itself. I've done this on past videos. There it is, folks. The Hallelujah Diet, George Malcolmus. This one. He's got many books out there. Okay? My suggestion is this book. And you know what? It's been such a blessing working with people over the years, where I've been able to see people that were, one lady, she was type 2 diabetic, she was going blind. After Oh my goodness. After 90 days of hard hitting it, no more type 2 diabetic, no more going blind. She had to be type 2 diabetic and she had to be going blind to do a Hail Mary and say, you know what? The processed food isn't worth it. The meat and the dairy is not worth it. People don't want to give up their addictions. And they don't want to give up their drugs they're taking from the doctor. Because the drugs make life easier. An inconvenient thing might be doing your own juicing. This isn't hard. And I know you know it's not hard, but if you take a look here, the celery, I'm just talking to you. Because, no one else is talking to you, maybe. Everybody else that you know is like, oh, we ate blah, blah, blah. And, oh, I'm going to get some ribs tonight or whatever. Or, yeah, I'm not going to tell the doctor that I ate this bread. Yeah, I mean, I even heard my preacher the other day, being real about it. I heard my preacher, he's like, don't tell my doctor, but I ate this so-and-so bread. No, man. And he's type 2 diabetic, and he will not consider, at this time, he won't consider plant-based. Won't do it. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, he, just like 99% of you, he won't give it up. Now he might give up his sight eventually. He might lose a foot. Whatever else can happen, I don't know. There's a lot of other things that can happen. But hopefully it won't happen to him. I mean, And here's the thing. You can't help anybody that doesn't want to be helped. Nobody wants, if anybody wants to change, they'll at one point, usually the pain is so much, or they'll be like, I want to be alive to see my grandchild. Because they start thinking about how close they are to their child. Then they're like, I really want to be around. Or, I don't know. There's something happens, and then, they start eating healthier. Every day is a choice. And we either make good choices or we make bad choices. And eventually what happens is that addiction that you have to Taco Bell. I say Taco Bell because I always liked Taco Bell. I always did. I was giving an example the other day when I first came off of plant-based, and I think it's a good one to repeat, and I'll do it quickly. I was coming off my addiction, driving home, smelled all these fast food places. I was like, oh, Taco Bell was one of them. There was Kentucky Fried Chicken, there was Subway. I smelled it. I don't know. I guess they do the bread in a certain way, or they just maybe push it out to the world like, come on in. And I pulled into Taco Bell. And I was like, no, because I had already tossed out everything in my house. All the processed food, all the meat, all the dairy. It's gone. All I had were carrots at home. Not just carrots. I had big buckets of nuts. You know what? See, here's the thing. You like nuts? You like whole almonds? Oh my gosh. I got 4 bags of these yesterday. By the way, I got these at Sam's. They were only $10 for 3 pounds. If I bought these at Walmart, they'd have been $30. Well, they've been twice as much. So 1 pound that cost me $10 at Sam's wholesale would have cost me $20 for the same amount at Walmart. So when you're getting healthy, you can get healthy. You can eat awesome food. And yeah, it helps to be part of a club. You don't have to be, but it helps. Anyway, I was at Taco Bell and I pulled in. And then I pull out because I'm like, no, I don't want to. And I was mad, I was frustrated. And then I pulled back in because, the addiction was calling me, man. It was calling me. And it's a real addiction. Food is a real addiction. And you know this because you're like, we're going to go out to Chinese. We're going to go out to Mexican. I was there. Didn't it feels like days ago because you remember your addictions. I remember smoking when I smoked. I remember that morning cigarette. I remember the cigarette with my coffee. Would I still like to have a cigarette today? The answer is yes. I would. I don't, but I do remember it. So addiction's real, and the food addiction is just as real as a cigarette addiction. I remember it all too well. So anyway, I pulled out of Taco Bell again, and then I pulled into Taco Bell for the 3rd time. And this time, I wanted the food. I pull back in. I'm tensing up because remember, I had that shift in my thinking going, I'm gonna do this. And the addiction was coming back going, man, you can just cheat this one time. And I knew, and I started thinking to myself, and it was heavy on me, and it was really heavy. And I just knew that if I did get, I was asking myself, what am I doing? You know, what has a hold of me so much that I just did 3 pulling in, pulling out, pulling in, pulling out of the parking lot. What did they think I was going to do? Rob the place? Maybe I would have, or maybe I was just an addicted person trying to break my addiction from processed food, and that's what I was. And I questioned how I was behaving, how I was acting, and I questioned my addiction. And that third time I pulled in, I hit my steering wheel like 3 times with my fist. And at that point, I realized something was really going on, and I really had an addiction. I hope nobody else has an addiction like that. I know you do, but I hope nobody else does. And I pulled out of the parking lot, went home. I didn't leave my house, and I did. And what I mean by that is that I decided I'm not any longer eating. I'm not. I have to go for a short period of time. I had to go straight to work, straight home. And I couldn't be exposed to any type of food, so I didn't have the options. So addiction's real. You can get through it. Money's not the reason. It's not. If you're wondering to yourself, and you are, because you're trying to pick apart any reason that this isn't going to work for you, you're picking apart. Hold up. They got you so brainwashed. You're thinking, well, what about the food pyramid? There is no food pyramid. There's just the dairy industry and the meat industry paying off big government to make it think make you think, and bread, to make you think you need that crap, and you do not. The protein that you get from meat, those animals get their protein from vegetables and fruits and grass or whatever grains that you can eat. An animal is just it doesn't matter what animal, it's a big blob of cholesterol and fat. That's all it is. This word cholesterol, what's cholesterol going to do to you? People are put on cholesterol medicine, and I talked to 2 people recently, and they swear that that's why they got their cancer. Because they're on cholesterol medicine. You don't want to be on cholesterol medicine. You want to stop eating those blobs of fat and cholesterol and start eating the food from the source. Eat real food. Get away from the addiction. You think you're going to Chinese food that's full of MSG. Now that's the 5-minute mark. But anyway, obviously I went over 10 minutes. My point is, take the time, get up in the morning, go for the walk, come home, juice. This isn't some super juice, but I wanted to go back to that. So you're worried about being able to get a balanced diet. You don't care now. You're not giving your body real food now. You have stored up on you. I don't know. If you have extra weight on you, you've got donuts and fat that your body needs to get out of your body, process it. It's got calories to burn, that you have. You don't have to. You're not thinking about where you're getting anything from your diet. It's random. For the first time, you're actually going to be putting real food in your body. That other stuff is food that your body does its very best to try to get things that it needs, but it's causing a ton of inflammation and pain on your body. You're not going directly to the source. You don't care anything about vitamins now. You don't care anything about nutrients. You're not caring about any of that. You're not seeing a dietitian, and if you did, you would find that dietetics definitely says plant-based is ideal for every stage of the human lifestyle. It's ideal. It's the best diet you can be on. So Anyway, it's not the money. You are going to feel full after you get past your addiction. But every so often, I mean, right now you're addicted. I'm telling you from experience. You know, I was 80 pounds heavier at one point, and I'm not ideal. I'm far away from where I'd like to be, but I am past the addiction, and that's why I care. And I'm really glad you showed up today, and I'm being really real with you. I hope you can tell. Um, I just wish, in a way, that I could look back and I could say, "Hey, Matthew, dude, just be humble. Stay away from all the processed food. You will come off that medicine, 100%. You will recover, 100%. You're gonna be okay. Tell everybody that you're sick, so they don't get offended, and they won't get offended when you eat healthy in front of them. Um, Let them know what you're doing. You know, maybe sometime in their life, you know, they'll possibly want to change over and eat something healthier. You're on the right path. You can get on the right path. If you're doing this, you're going to go through a struggle. Matthew, you're going to be okay. You're going to lose those pounds, and you will be at this point at some certain time, and just keep going with it. Just keep going with it. You're going to be off the meds. Your body's not going to hurt anymore. Your body's going to feel like it's in its 20s, you know? And yeah, I'm 50 years old right now, and I can go out there and I can bike. I did, 40 kilometers the other day, for sure. Last time I did 25, but today I'll be riding again. I did 10 yesterday, which is kind of cool. I did it hard. I got a long way to go. I can go out there and I can sprint. You know, I couldn't do that in the past. Just could not. Yeah, and a calmness you'll feel about yourself. You're gonna get a calmness. You're gonna feel so good all the time. Sometimes I ask myself, do I have any energy? Yeah, I've got energy, but I always have energy, and that's why because when you're up and down when I was up and down on food addiction, I would be like down. So when I would eat 50 pounds of food, it felt like, or 4 plates of the Chinese buffet, half my brain would go numb, and I would feel like I was asleep, and then boom, about 4 or 5 hours later, I would be awake, and then I'd probably be looking for my next fix. I remember I mentioned this before in another video, but I would eat all you can eat Chinese on Saturday and all you can eat Mexican on Sunday. Not saying I didn't enjoy it. Obviously, at that point, I did. And so whatever is ailing you, and obviously, if you're anywhere really in the United States, if you're in the United States, if you're on the standard American diet, which is a very sad diet, if you're 30 and up, or even younger, 20 and up, if you think it's okay to be on meds at that point, and you don't have to be, and you're on meds because you have a food addiction, and you live in a sick society, a very sick society, and if you think it's okay just to go toe to heel with everybody else in the herd, well, that's cool. It's socially acceptable, but it might also be socially acceptable for socially acceptable. It's socially acceptable to be extremely unhealthy at this point in the United States. Socially acceptable. If you just want to do what's socially acceptable, well, okay. But at some point, when you're maybe at the point where, like that one lady I was talking about that was going blind, at that point she got lucky. She got lucky, and she went to 2 different eye doctors. I don't know what kind they were, and they were like, "No, you're not going blind." Now, there's no, yeah, and she was so happy. and I was happy for her. Obviously, she was happier. I mean, come on. Because I didn't even know she was going blind at first. I only knew she was a type 2 diabetic, but I was working with her, and, we became good friends. Anyway, point being, I hope you have a wonderful morning. There is going to be that point where you decide to get healthy, and then staying healthy is just going to be, just staying healthy. It's just going to become a point in time. I feel like I'm sounding a little humdrum, but I'm not. Very happy. It's just that I watch a lot of other plant-based people, and they're like, I got some juices, and this one's gonna really make you happy, and this one's gonna trim you down, and this one's called Jubita, and you're gonna be able to run around the block, and da 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 da, and hey, I've got magical types of blah blah mixtures, and hey, let's throw an apple with blah blah. They give it cool names, and it's a bunch of crap, really. Do I want to do different juices for y'all? Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think you got so many people out there that need to just hear some real stuff. The real stuff is that switch has got to flip over for you. You got to take in charge. You got to get peeved off about something. About having to go to the doctor all the time, get the tests, spend the money, have fear, worry about your freaking health insurance, which is sick insurance. They can bite it because it's bullshit is what it is. Doctors are good for barely anything. They're legal drug pushers. There you go. That's what they are. They extend your life if you want to stay sick. If you want to stay sick, they'll extend your life for you. They'll thin your blood so that you can have blood pressure medicine. All they're doing is thinning the blood because you're clogging it up with cholesterol and fat. So if you want to poison yourself with that crap, you can. And then you take blood pressure medicine that thins your blood so that you can live longer. Or you can go on a plant-based diet and clear out your arteries, feel great. There is no healthy meat out there, by the way. It's all cholesterol and fat. That's all it is. But you can take, it just depends on what you want to do. Now, mind you, eventually it will catch up to you. 1 out of 2 people that have a heart attack are dead immediately. So you want to run those numbers and that risk, and you think, well, why do I want to get healthy? Because I could be in a car wreck tomorrow. You can, a lot of people do that. That's why how many people are diabetic? How many people are on blood pressure medicine? Lots of people. But it's important for you to know you have a choice. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am your future self. I want you to listen to me. If you want to be off that medication, you can be off that medication. Not medical advice, see a doctor, blah, blah, blah. If you are on depression medicine, you can get off that medicine. You don't need it. If you want to avoid getting cancer, you would not believe the percentages. Unless you go roll in asbestos somewhere, you can reverse the damage you've done. More than likely, you can reverse it. The only one who can do it is you. You can question everything. I don't know if I'll get enough, blah, blah, blah. How would I know it's going to be balanced? You don't have any clue about balance right now anyway. And there's not that much to figure out. I can't afford to eat healthy. Really? Look at this. $7 to fill these 2 things. To eat all those carrots that are really, really sweet tasting. You ever tried juicing? Try it. So there's lots of different juices. There's lots of different affordabilities. Anyway, again, we're back to the grind, aren't we? Labor Day weekend is over. I was off. And, if you're thinking about going plant-based, please comment in this section. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any information you want me to put out there, please do comment. This is a brand new channel, just getting started. Really enjoying, coming here and sharing the message, just having fun, sharing recipes. I know Darlene is too. And we're here for you. We love you. You have an excellent week. I will see you tomorrow.